barbecue and beer goes very well together. I mean, early on we wanted beer to serve at our barbecue. So we started looking for someone to cooperate with, like a local craft brewer. When we started looking at the breweries that were around, we found Peter's small brewery and the things that he had done before, and felt it was like, this could be a match. So we contacted Peter.
We had the first meeting. I didn't really know what to expect. There was just two nice guys just hanging out at the brewery. They presented their idea to me, and I was, of course, into it. I'd been there, so I knew what they were about. Beer and barbecue, of course, is a match made in heaven. So we just hit it off on both a personal level, and our companies at that time were like sort of in the same phase, and I was looking to find a new path for the brewery. So it's perfect timing and perfect fit for us as well.
And we actually started making a beer for this place, Lättöl, which is 2.2 ABV. So just to get the ball rolling a bit.
Yeah.
And then the goal was always to open up somewhere in the city, which we found pretty fast and got lucky with a good place. So that's when the whole concept of merging the brewery with the barbecue, we needed to find some kind of brand to like unify them. And we had maybe 3 or 4 months of just headache, just finding out this name or this concept. What should we call it? How do we like merge the two worlds together in one name? And finally came up with this Big Bone Brews brand.
It's so long ago now, I don't really remember all the ridiculous stuff that we actually came up with, but it was a lot of stupid ideas.
Yeah, and I think it was Nicholas who came up with the Big Bone Brews like name. And then I had like, during these months of just thinking about this, I had like doodled on paper some sort of logo, which was like the tank skull that is on the logo now, and that fit in quite well with like the big bone. So we added the bones to the logo, so to unify both the meat and beer.
There are a lot of like distinct flavors from the barbecue, depending on the meat. I mean, there's always the brisket, which has all the features of like dark meat, super umami, a bit acrid almost from the bark. There's a bit of a spice to it. So I always work by either complementing or contrasting flavors. For a meat like that, it's a perfect match for like a brown ale or a porter to complement the flavor profile of the bark of the meat with the roasted grains used in those kind of beers. Or you could just go with a light lager, just something to wash away, like a reset for your palate for the next bite. But in my process is complementing or contrasting in some way. We're kind of riding a wave that is just up and onwards. So a big part of it is just what's today gonna bring? What kind of new fun stuff are we gonna do in like 6 months? A lot of our opportunities have somewhat came from outside that we couldn't have expected before, and it's being a part of that journey. And of course there is a vision of what we want to make in the end.
The vision we've had since we started talking to Peter in the beginning, and that is to find a place where we can combine the brewery and the barbecue at the same place. The brewery in the back, so the customers can see the brewing process when they are eating, and can take brewery tours and try the beer directly from the tanks.
One of my ambitions of making the Big Bone Brew concept was also to have a platform where we could invite other breweries on taps, but also invite them to make collaborations, to learn from each other. We've been hosts of tap takeovers for Stockholm brewers, just to like get the community together and just make people hang out.
Yeah, that's also a fun thing to get something that's unique.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, this is one brew.
Yeah.
This will never come back again.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge we faced was, of course, the Corona. I mean, that was tough for everybody, especially in the city restaurants where people came during the evenings. I mean, we had to close at 8. I mean, people didn't almost have time to come for dinner. And to open up as we did during Corona, 1.5 years ago we opened up in Gothenburg. And that's also a big challenge to have a restaurant in another city. I mean, it's a 5-6 hours drive from here. You can't just go there and fix something. That's still challenging, even though since we've been open there for 1.5 years, things are working much smoother now than it did in the beginning.
And then there's the BBQ Festival that has always been like in our minds, because the location we have here with the whole just plain space outside, that is perfect just to have a festival. And now this year we actually managed to do it for the first time. We invited other barbecue restaurants
and competition teams.
Yeah.
From all over Sweden, actually. So we were supposed to be open for both Saturday and Sunday, and we were hoping to get like 1,000 people here, if you count both days, maybe 700 on the Saturday and 300 on Sunday or so. And we opened up and we just saw all people coming down, and the line never stopped. It's just people just pouring in. So we ended up with around 4,000 visitors the first day. We were completely sold out of everything, so it was impossible to be open on Sunday as well. We just had to close the Sunday because it was a huge success, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
We were out of beer like halfway through, so I had to make another run to the brewery. The 2 other breweries went to their brewery to pick up some more beer. They came back with the same amount that they brought from the beginning. Everything was sold out.
So we sold like all the meat that was supposed to be for 2 days in 1 day.
Yeah, or like half a day.
Yeah, more or less.
We were about sold out at like 6-7 o'clock.
Yeah. So we were already planning it for next year. Yeah, but then we are only doing it 1 day.
Brisket, the king. We got the pork belly, aka flexicida. We top it off with a good old cheesy glaze. We make it ourselves. And burnt ends.